Mother in black. My mother always wore black. Black dresses, black shoes, black gloves even in the middle of summer. When I was a kid I thought it was strange, but children accept strange things easily when they grow up around them. Whenever I asked why, she would just smile in that quiet way of hers and brush my hair back from my face. Some people just look better in black, she'd say. It seemed like a simple answer at the time. My mother wasn't like other parents, but I never questioned it much. She was always home. Always waiting. Always sitting by the window in the living room like she was expecting someone to arrive. Sometimes I'd catch her staring at me instead of the road outside, not smiling nor frowning, just watching. She had that kind of look people get when they watch sunsets rolling in from far away, beautiful things that never last very long. I remember once asking her why she never went to the grocery store or the school events like other parents did. She tilted her head slightly, as if the question puzzled her. "They don't need to see me," she said. I didn't really understand what that meant, but I didn't press the issue. She still helped with homework, still made dinner, still tucked me in every night like any other mother. But there were little things. Things I didn't notice until I was older. I never saw her eat. Not once. She would sit across from me at the table while I finished my plate, her hands folded neatly in front of her black sleeves, smiling as if watching me was enough. And she never slept either. Every night when I woke from bad dreams, she was already there in the hallway, standing quietly outside my door like she had been waiting. "You're awake," she would whisper. Her voice always sounded calm. Certain. Like a promise. The memories came back to me slowly. Fragments at first. Rain on the windshield. My father shouting something from the driver's seat. Headlights. A horn that wouldn't stop screaming. For years those memories felt like dreams that faded when I tried to look at them too closely. My mother never talked about it when I asked. "Some memories don't need to be carried forever," she would say softly. So I stopped asking. Life went on the same way it always had. School. Homework. Dinner across from a woman dressed in black. Until the day I found the newspaper. It happened while I was walking home from school. The wind had blown a stack of old papers from someone's recycling bin across the sidewalk. One page slapped against my shoe. I bent down to move it aside, but a photograph caught my eye. A wrecked car. Crushed metal twisted around a telephone pole. The headline above it read, "Local family killed in highway collision." My stomach tightened as I stared at the picture. The car looked familiar. Too familiar. I started reading. A father. A mother. And their 8-year-old child. All pronounced dead at the scene. The names sat there on the page in black ink. My father's name. My mother's name. And mine. I ran home faster than I ever had before. The house looked the same as always. Quiet. Still. The curtains drawn against the fading afternoon light. My mother was sitting in her usual chair by the window. Black dress. Hands folded neatly in her lap. Waiting. She looked up when I burst through the door, breathing hard, the newspaper trembling in my hands. "Mom," I said. "What is this?" I held the page out toward her. For a long moment she didn't speak. Her eyes moved slowly across the headline, then back to my face. There was sadness there. A deep, patient sadness I had seen many times before but never understood. "I was hoping you wouldn't find that yet," she said quietly. "Find what?" My voice cracked. "It says you died. It says we all died." She stood and walked toward me. It hit me as she approached. I noticed something strange about her reflection in the hallway mirror. There wasn't one. My heart started pounding. "You're here," I said desperately. "You're right here." She stopped in front of me. Up close, her eyes looked older than I had ever realized. Ancient, even. Gentle. "You weren't ready," she said. "For what?" To leave. The words hung in the air between us. A strange stillness filled the room. Outside the window, the sky had grown darker than it should have been for that time of day. You stayed? I asked. Her smile was small and tired. Yes. For all this time? Yes. My hands were shaking now. But you're my mother. She hesitated. Then she slowly reached out and took my hand. Her fingers were cool. Not cold. Just distant. Not exactly, she said. The room seemed to dim around us. The walls, the furniture, the pictures on the shelf, they all began to feel less solid somehow, like memories fading at the edges. I looked past the front door, and in place of the porch there was only a long path stretching into a quiet gray horizon. I looked back at her. Where does it go? Her voice was softer than I had ever heard it. Where you're supposed to be. I stared at her black dress, at the dark fabric that never seemed to wrinkle or fade no matter how many years passed. Finally, I understood. My mother had always worn black. Not because she was mourning. Not because someone had to be dressed for the funeral. But because she had been waiting, like any loving parent would, for her child to be ready to go.